their in-state rival?
I think they do, and I've said it from the beginning. The Astros, we cannot discount what they've done year after year after year. We've seen the injuries come into play this season, and still only being 3 games back. They've only played, 6 games? You said it the other day. They only had played 6 games.
Jordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, those two combined played in 6 games combined.
Yeah, that to me tells me all I need to know, right? When I haven't had those guys in together and other guys have still been able to step up and we've been able to try to catch these Rangers, that's been big. I think Urquidy should be back soon. Jordan will be back soon. Altuve already been taking ground balls and all that. So to me, this team is a team that's already been built for it. There'll be a team that looks at the trade deadline to add a piece or two as well. But I love how guys have stepped up. McCormick this past weekend against the Angels just went off. Yeah. And I think when you start to expect that when you start to see that from those guys, that builds everybody up. Bregman is another guy that's gotten off slow. He had a good weekend with the big home run yesterday. So, and then Kyle Tucker, sometimes we forget about how good Kyle Tucker is. It's just unreal, back-to-back 30-homer seasons. But they have it built. They can do it. It's just a matter of how consistent they stay this second half and being healthy.
Consistency. By the way, real quick, I know you're trying to jump in, Cliff. Jose Urquidy made a rehab start with the Space Cowboys, one of my favorite names in minor league baseball. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I love the Rangers, though. I just love when you have adversity like losing Jacob deGrom, it's something to be said about, guys that step up. And I just mentioned with stars, Christian Yelich is a star. He's back balling. Yeah. Their 2 stars are balling, Simeon, Seager, and then you look at Adolis Garcia out in right field, leading the league in RBIs. That's when you have, you have a shot to catch us. We know you coming. We just got to play better. They have the guys that can play better. Yeah. I do believe Houston can catch them. Don't get it twisted, of course, but I just like what the Rangers are. They've just, weathered the storm.
The Astros are going to be the team I have to ride through the rest of the second half because last week I said the Astros are winning the division. They were a great bet, still the second odds behind the Rangers to win the division last week at around +110. It has flipped in the last week since the weekend to the Astros, despite being 3 games back. Now the favorites again to win the American League West, despite losing Garcia, despite losing McCullers. Yeah. This Astros rotation is still top 5 in ERA. It's been the lineup that has been the problem. I have no doubt that with Altuve and Alvarez back in the lineup, with Bregman, with Kyle Tucker, that this lineup is going to get hot at the right time. As World Series champs, they know that they just have to get hot in September.
Nobody mentioned Jeremy Pena, by the way. We also forgot about the World Series MVP. Altuve could begin his rehab assignment during this 10-game road trip. We did mention 3 against Colorado, 3 against the Oakland A's, so we can go ahead and surmise that they're going to win a handful of those games.
They need production out of Abreu, though. There's no doubt that the one man that they picked up this offseason gave the $50 million. He's got to do something, and we started to see signs of him improving in the latter part of the first half, but if they expect to be where they want to be, Abreu's got to produce.
6 games left against the Rangers, by the way. Alvarez is engaged in baseball activities as well. He was supposed to make his rehab starts and assignments. He did fall ill on Friday, so he is making his way back to everything. So what I'm trying to say is once those 2 are back in place, along with Urquidy, this team, in my opinion, can be unstoppable. I was in Arlington with those Rangers, and I think they have everything they need in order to make it to the postseason. I just see them getting in as a wild card. Should we stay in the AL West?
Yeah,
do
please.
it. Okay, I wonder who we're going to talk about.
Let's go to Anaheim or Los Angeles, however the team wants to identify themselves. Yep, Shohei Ohtani hit another 2 home runs over the weekend. He's not tired from his trip to Seattle and back and all over the place. At this point in time,
why would we ever assume he's tired?
Around the 2-way superstar because he's not human. You're right. So the Angels are about to host the Yankees, and then they have another 6 at home, and then they hit the road for a long time. Could this, Cliff, be the last time we see Shohei Ohtani in Anaheim in an Angels uniform? Trade deadline is August 1st.
You said could be? Yeah, absolutely, it could be. Right?
No,
you can't change it now. It could be the last time. And look, I believe if you're going to lose with him and you don't have Trout, and you don't have your big boy, Anthony Rendon. These are boppers. These are dudes you need to make him look good consistently, to make him get pitched to. All the things you need. I mean, Phil Nevin had to put him in a leadoff spot just to make sure he got pitched to in certain games, especially with Trout being out. I say yes. I say, you know what? You can't let him walk without getting something returned to put your organization in a better situation to be better, especially when you still have Trout and Rendon on your roster.
It worries me for the Angels fan base to get rid of Ohtani right now. Free agency is going to come up. That's one thing. If you're any other team in baseball trying to get Ohtani, the amount that you have to give up for a player that potentially may not even be able to pitch that much for you up until maybe the playoffs with that blister on his finger that has stopped him from the last 3 starts. Now you're getting him as a hitter, which is great. He's leading the league in home runs. Looks awesome. However, there's too many prospects, too much of an individual team for just a span of August, September, and October to have to give up for a player like Ohtani for
you
just
let him
3
walk.
months.
You let him walk.
For nothing.
You let him walk.
Ohtani's staying in LA for the rest of this season.
And then he walks.
Then he walks.
And if you're the Angels, that's cool.
If you're the Angels, it's not cool. But what are you going to do about it? He's
Trade
free
him.
agent.
Trade him.
Trade
You gotta
him.
trade him. You have to trade him.
think about that, Errol. Like you can't let your organization will be you'll be in last place.
You think that trading Ohtani right now is good for your fan base?
The fan base,
no.
The fan base is going to have to get over. They have to understand that you're going to get nothing for Ohtani at this point. You have to bring back something because this is a man that's already said, I'm going to go play somewhere where I'm going to win. And that's the first priority for him. He's going to get paid no matter what. So he's not, to me, that tells me I'm not staying with the Angels. So I have to go get something for him. And there's going to be teams willing to give something for Ohtani.
That's what I was going to say. To Ariel's point, what are you willing to leverage for someone who could potentially just perform at the plate?
Or potentially change the whole outlook of you getting to the postseason.
Okay, so what are you willing
That's the thing to me is
what are you
Ohtani's
willing
actually,
to leverage?
I'm willing to leverage
top talent.
Whatever it takes.
You're willing to give up your #1 overall prospect for
maybe your top 3.
Let me tell you this: if I'm a team like Texas, if I'm a team like Seattle who has a chance to possibly re-sign him after,
2 months.
if I'm a team like Seattle who has a chance to re-sign him after, if I'm a team like the Dodgers who have the prospect capital, if I'm a team even like the Rays who have the prospect capital, I'm looking at this guy can change the outlook of the rest of my season. I'm going after Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I mean, if you can win, right?
The fan base will get over that, though.
With Justin Verlander, when he went to Houston.
It's still
didn't lose a game, won a World Series, and he eventually stayed. I just feel if he's not going anywhere where they're not winning, right? I don't believe that. I believe if you're close and you get a chance to bring them in, you have to give up something to get something.
Give me a landing spot.
I mean, like right now, like
Giants?
Like Giants look really good.
Giants is the only one that stands out to me.
Right? Like I mean, Texas
do you believe in
really good.
do you believe in the anti-crosstown rivalry where they would never give him to LA?
The Angels have to be at a point to where whatever is the best package,
so they're out.
Whatever is the best package for Ohtani, I want that.
Yeah.
Even if that was the Rangers, if that was Houston, if they're offering me the best thing I can get back, and I feel like they're overpaying for Ohtani, I have to go get that. Otherwise, I'm getting nothing.
Right.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, yes, John Heyman did report that he will not be going to the Dodgers.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying you're already eliminating the Dodgers from the conversation, which now gives you...
The Dodgers don't need to be in the conversation because they could go get him.
What about San Diego? They've done some crazy things in the past.
San Diego bought everything. If you can't win that, you ain't winning.
Well, why not?
Right. Well, that's what I say about the Yankees.
Yeah.
There's way more problems than just one player.
Well, then I 100% agree with
The
you.
funny thing is, Ohtani would solve some of the Yankees' issues. Like if he got signed to the Yankees, he would be another arm in that rotation in which they could use because the bullpen is good. You get some length out of Ohtani, and then also the left field situation. I might be able to move Giancarlo to left and use Ohtani at the DH spot. I don't know.
I like the Giants move the best out of the teams that we're naming because the Giants are the team that needs an extra bat in that offense. The pitching. Here's the Giants can at least get Ohtani, and if he can pitch or not for a month or two, they'll be okay because their pitching's fine. They need another bat. The Yankees need way more than just a potential pitcher. Their rotation's stacked. So now you're going to give up 3 top prospects potentially if you're the Yankees when you don't even really need him in the rotation if you have Rodon and Nestor.
I'll put Severino in the bullpen.
Well, Nestor's already coming back.
I feel like Severino should probably be in the bullpen.
Nestor Cortez coming back might already put Severino in the bullpen.
You will never see a GM say, okay, I don't want extra rotation depth. If you have an opportunity to sign
it's about what you have to give up for what you don't need.
What was that?
You see 2 horses in the playoffs and everyone else can go to the bullpen.
Yeah. That's all you need. You need 3. Well, maybe you have 3, yeah, but look, you just can't let them walk. I mean, I know the fan base is everything. I mean, for me, I want to watch them. I want to see them if I'm out there.
It's giving up, it feels, if
The
you're a
fan
fan.
base would be more
that
upset.
They have a
Okay,
7% chance of making the postseason, according to the fan graphs today.
When you talk about their pitching, everything they've done, it's like, yeah, we're trying. Yeah, this is better than it's been in the past, but
They're above the luxury tax threshold for the first time, I think, almost in the history of the club.
You're 46
They
and
went
48.
for it this season.
And you're 46 and 48.
Yeah.
Trade them.
The fan base will understand, to me. They understand that the percentages of losing right now, they already understand that this team is not a playoff team. It is not. They may be the 3rd best, maybe the 4th best team in the AL West.
Yeah, I mean, I see the appeal of the draw and the gate revenue and merchandise, but I also see
I
like
would
trying
never
to
wanna
leverage for
trade 'em.
something. As a fan of the team, I would like to see something in return.
Right.
We'll